In a study some time ago back in the 20th century by psychologist Abraham Maslow, he concluded that what a man must be, he can be, or what a man can be, he must be. What does that mean? Well, it's an assertion that suggests that each person has this powerful drive towards self-actualization. They have an innate push to reach their full potential. And it's a statement that implies that we, as humans, are designed to grow and we're made to evolve and expand beyond what we currently know of ourselves. And this isn't just wishful thinking or, motivational talk. It's an observation grounded in psychology, in human psychology. But what does it mean for each of us individually? And how often do we look inward and reflect on what might be there waiting within? Is there more? Is there something great that lies inside? As we start asking these questions, we touch on a transformative perspective about human potential. What if our true limits are far beyond what we've been told, are far beyond what we've been taught, or exceeded what we dare to believe? Imagine for a moment that your capacity for growth and change is as vast as you can conceive, and then some more. Maybe our lives would look completely different if we could truly recognize, even for an instant, that there's an immense potential resting inside each one of us. And yet we often settle for far less than what we are capable of becoming. We live in the realm of comfort and familiarity, and we're often left unaware of the remarkable depth of power that we hold within. The modern understanding of psychology tells us that our human potential is practically limitless. There's no end to what a human can do. There's no ultimate cap on what we can achieve or what we can feel or what we can express. But the question is, if we have such immense capacity, why are so many of us still living far beneath our potential? Why is it that cockroaches never starve, but yet there are so many hungry people living amongst us, people who are struggling from day to day? Why is it that the basest of creatures can live to their potential, but we as humans can't? Why do we hesitate to reach into those uncharted depths within ourselves? It might be because we haven't yet tapped into the power to perceive what truly exists inside of us. It's not a mystical power, it's simply a shift in awareness that can open doors to incredible growth and transformation. Think about it. When we acknowledge that there is much more to us than what appears on the surface, we start to break through the ordinary limitations that have held us back. The shift in perspective is, in many ways, the first step to a larger transformation. But it's not just about knowing that there's more to you. It's about actively seeking to understand and to embrace that quote-unquote more. It's to uncover that inner man, that great inner man that lies within you. So have you taken the time to look beyond the surface? What might you find if you did? The journey of self-discovery might be one of the most profound journeys that we ever undertake in our lives, that each of us will undertake in our lives. And it's not about adding anything external. It's about uncovering what's already there, what's lying dormant within. The capacities within each of us, the strengths and the skills and the things that we're passionate about, those are all like seeds which are waiting to be awakened. And yet, many of us ignore these inner resources and we choose instead to dwell only on what we see or think we know. There's a verse in the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible which says that a wise man's eyes are in his head. If you think deeply enough about that verse, you'll understand what I'm saying. Often we don't even scratch the surface of what our true potential is. And what is it that holds us back from exploring these depths? Could it be fear? Or perhaps it's the comfort of routine and familiarity, that makes us avoid the unknown. Self-discovery really requires courage. It means being willing to confront the aspects of ourselves that we might have neglected or ignored or even been unaware of, But ask yourself this question. If you could discover untapped strength and capacity and capability within, would you? And if so, what would you change about your life? What would that change for you? If you knew that whatever you attempted would succeed, what would you do? Would you climb a mountain? Would you swim to the bottom of the sea? Would you start that business that you've always wanted to start? Would you go after the girl that you've always wanted? What would change for you? There's a powerful shift that happens when we start to believe that there is more to us than what we currently see. Imagine how our lives might change if we started to view ourselves not just as we are now, but as who we are becoming. Believing in our own growth potential can free us from the self-imposed boundaries that prevent us from realizing our full capabilities. And this belief doesn't have to be blind and it doesn't have to be naive. It can be as simple as acknowledging that you have the room to grow and that your future self holds greater potential than your current self. It's just accepting that that is a fact. And once you see it as true, your capabilities are endless. Once we cultivate this inner belief, we're likely to approach life a bit differently. Failure becomes less daunting because we understand it as part of the growth process or process, however you want to pronounce that word. Obstacles feel less intimidating because, we know that within us there's a reserve of strength that we can draw upon. And this belief doesn't remove challenges from life, but it does empower us to face them with renewed conviction. I ask again, what would change if you believed you were capable of handling whatever life brought your way? Many of us underestimate the power that lies dormant within, simply because we don't make the effort to awaken it. And yet throughout history, there were many people who achieved great things. And they often had one thing in common. That commonality was that they dared to believe that there was more inside, there was more within them. And by tapping into this inner power, they overcame seemingly insurmountable odds and reached their goals. But what if we too could access that same power? It starts by shifting our focus inwards and making a conscious decision to explore what's already within. What if you made a habit of this inward focus? What would you find? Could you see an untapped reserve of courage, creativity, or resilience? It's a thought-provoking idea and one that can lead to powerful, life-altering realizations. This inner exploration doesn't just help us discover more about ourselves. It can also bring forth the qualities that we need to face life with confidence and with purpose. Living with the mindset that there is more of me changes how we explore and how we experience daily life. When we know that there is more to discover within ourselves, it shifts our focus from what we lack to what we are capable of achieving. And suddenly the way we handle challenges and go for goals and relationships transforms, and we stop being mere reactors to our circumstances, and we start becoming active participants in our journey of growth. It's like opening a door to a room that you didn't know existed within your house. Suddenly there is like more space to explore, and there are more possibilities to consider. Just imagine living every day with the conviction that there is more of you to uncover, more resilience, more wisdom, more passion. Would you approach your day differently? Would you challenge yourself more often? These are the introspective questions that guide us toward living fully and authentically. Embracing the quote-unquote more within doesn't have to be an abstract concept. There are practical ways to engage with this idea daily. You can begin by setting aside a few moments each day for self-reflection. You can reflect on your recent actions, your thoughts, and your decisions. And then you ask yourself, how could I have responded differently? What might I learn from today's challenges? And through this type of reflection, we can bring to the surface our strengths and areas for growth. Another way to tap into your inner resources is by embracing challenges rather than avoiding them. When faced with problems, you remind yourself of the capacity within you to find a solution. Whether it's a professional obstacle or a personal conflict, or even a creative block if you're trying to write a book or draw some art or make some music, you have the potential within you to handle it. When you approach all these types of situations with the mindset that there's more within you to draw from, then you'll likely find a solution that you hadn't seen before. Living in alignment with your deeper self means making a conscious decision to let that greater more of yourself emerge in everything that you do. This might look like pursuing dreams that you've postponed, nurturing relationships you've neglected, or developing skills that you've left unexplored. It's about honoring that inner drive to grow and to expand and to evolve. And as you begin to live in harmony with your true self, you'll likely experience a new sense of freedom and fulfillment. So what is it that lies within you that's still waiting to be uncovered, that's latent? Is there a passion? Is there a strength? Or is there a purpose that you have yet to discover? Could a new depth of self-understanding and potential be just around the corner? And it's waiting there for you to take the first step inward. These are the type of questions that invite you into a deeper dialogue with yourself. And it's a dialogue that might change the way you live and change the way you love and change the way you grow. If you found these insights meaningful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to click the notification bell. We'll keep exploring topics that challenge and inspire and help us all to unlock the best version of ourselves. Dive into this journey of self-discovery with us, and remember, the power to grow and transform lies within you.